This is Jonah Mitro, co-founder of Precision Pro Golf, and my co-host.
I'm Billy Annesley, co-founder of Banty, and we are here to talk some golf.
Let's go.
Oh, necked it.
Actually, I think it's a kick forwards into the right.
That intentional runner, it's going to get there. Oh, excuse me. Look at this one.
This could be close. This could be really close.
So, breaking news. I know we had an agenda, but before we kick things off, we got to start with this. Instagram popped up on me today. Brooks Koepka reveals to Fred Couples that he wants to leave LIV and go back to the PGA Tour. Are you surprised?
Not one bit. I mean, least shocking thing of all time that it's a trickle-down effect right now. I feel like everyone is so bored with LIV, and the money's great and all, but they're athletes at the end of the day, and they're just not really competing over there.
So he was on the Jake Paul BS podcast and said, his quote is, "I'll be honest, I signed for the money. I'm 100% behind that." He signed for $100 million. I don't know if tomorrow I'll be hit by a car, be in a car accident, and never play golf again, but my family is taken care of. End quote. He did it for the money, just like everybody else, and they can say they didn't, but we know they did. Yeah. And I would have done the same thing. I would have done exactly the same thing. I've done it for the money, spent my 4 years there. Once it's done, try to go back to the PGA Tour, play on the best tour against the best players. So it'll be interesting if there's a snowball effect. So his contract ends at the end of 25. Bryson is 26. I think Mickelson and Sergio, those guys are in 25 as well. It does not surprise me. I think this is what a lot of the guys are feeling. And I think they're finally ready to come out and say it. And I think this is going to prevent the LIV and PGA merger from going through.
I agree. And I think that when one guy says it, it really opens the doors for everyone else to be vocal and not shy away from the public eye on vocalizing that they just don't want to be on the LIV tour anymore.
Well, I say I don't think they don't want to be on it. I think they like the 12 events a year. They may not love the travel because, I mean, they're in Hong Kong this week. Then they come back to Miami in 3 weeks. Then they go to, they're doing Mexico, they're doing Virginia, they're doing, I think, Boston. It's a crazy schedule. And now there's some time in between the events. It goes back to what we talked about last time, right? Let's play in 12 events, make it the best events, play against the best people. And then let's do something on the side. We don't need to play 30 times a year. If I'm a top 15, 20 guy, I don't need that.
I also do think this is somewhat of a realization that while I appreciate all of these new ventures within golf to improve the game or create new ways to play it, I think that the PGA Tour has it down. It is the most entertaining competitive version of golf out there. And we've been trying to not reinvent the wheel with it, but explore all these new roads. And I think we already had the best version of it right in front of our faces the whole time.
Who's the next guy that comes out and says they want to leave and go back to PGA? Who's your money on?
Jon Rahm.
He's already said it. So you can't pick him. He's already said it, but he's locked in until 28. So who's your other guy that contract ends in 25, 26?
I don't know. I'm honestly blanking on who's even on the LIV tour. I watch it so little that I forget, aside from the big names. So Bryson's mentioned it. Brooks has mentioned it. I don't think Phil really cares because he's on the tail end. And so I'm going to go ahead and guess
Dustin Johnson is my pick. He's the next guy that's going to come out and say, I want to go back.
That's a good one. I totally even forgot about him in general.
He just ended his contract with TaylorMade that he's had for, 15 years or so. Actually, let me check on that. Okay, Dustin Johnson's 15-year sponsorship deal with Adidas ended in February of 2023, and they both agreed to part ways. And his TaylorMade deal, which I think he still had, that ended at the end of 24. So both TaylorMade and Adidas, the two largest sponsors, ended in the last 2 years.
Did he get new sponsors?
I do not know. There's nothing in here about him picking up additional sponsors, but I think he's the next guy who's going to come out. I think Phil is going to play on the Champions Tour and play some limited Masters and kind of top tier events if he's welcome back. The other guy I'd probably say is Sergio, but I don't think people are going to welcome Sergio back as well as welcome back the other guys. As He's done some stuff in the past that people haven't loved.
He wasn't even liked before he left. So
I don't think there are guys that are going to stay on LIV because of the money. So then who are they going to pull in, right? Who are they going to take away from the PGA to replace some of these big names they lose? I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I don't think the money's going to be that good. They're going to get 50 to 100 ranked players or new guys coming out of school that want to get paid out of the gate and get their chances to win on LIV and then try to rejoin the PGA later down the road.
if you're like a college kid and you're a top tier golfer, 22 to 26, 4-year contract, get the money, and you'll be in your prime around 26 to you'll still have plenty of years on the PGA Tour. That could be a new move and have it be more of a younger skewed tour, but who knows?
All right, let's move on to our next topic. This weekend, the Cognizant Open was played in Palm Beaches, a golf resort. The famous Bear Trap, 15, 16, 17, the 3 toughest holes in golf outside of probably the Masters. Did you watch it? Honesty.
No.
I watched about 15 minutes of it, a little bit on Friday, Saturday, a little bit on Sunday. I mainly do the recaps. So I'll give you the quick synopsis. Jake Knapp comes out and shoots 59, takes the lead first, second, third day. He's the leader after 54 holes going into the final day. And he shoots a 1 over to drop out of first place.
Wow. A 59?
59, opening one of, I think, 20 players that have done it on the PGA Tour. Right, lights out. Joe Highsmith. He's not a rookie, turned pro in 2022. This is his first win on tour. He missed 3 of his 5 last cuts. His best finish, I think, was a tied for 17th. Here's the story, though. He shoots 7 under on Saturday, 7 under on Sunday. He made the cut on the number on Friday, end of day.
Wow.
His mom was there on Sunday watching him play. His mom had a flight to leave at 3 o'clock to fly back home. He said, "Mom, I'm 5 under through the first 9. You probably want to cancel your flight and see how I do." And he goes on to win 19 under, wins by 2 strokes. Second week in a row, first-time winner on the PGA Tour. Not as dramatic as the playoff from 2 weeks ago or last week, but another cool story. But this is where I want to start with. Jake Knapp shoots a 59. What is better? Would you rather shoot a 59 or get 2 hole-in-ones on the same round of golf?
That's probably harder to do.
Why?
I feel like there's less people in the world that have had 2 hole-in-ones in the same round versus the amount of people who have shot 59.
How many hole-in-ones have you had in your career, your golfing career?
0.
Ditto. In 35 years of playing golf, I've never had a hole-in-one.
I will say, getting a hole-in-one is way more realistic for me than ever shooting a 59. So a hole-in-one is just, I can envision it harder. You just got to get lucky on a par 3, where I would have to practice golf 12 hours a day for the next 10 years to shoot 59 on a par 3 course.
So I want to say this. Getting a hole-in-one, I think it would be amazing. It'd be awesome. I'd keep the ball, I'd keep the flag, I'd take the flag off, like I'd frame it. But at 59, I would remember for the rest of my life. That means you're playing 18 holes perfect, right? Over the course of a whole round of golf, where a hole-in-one, even 2 hole-in-ones, again, 2 lucky shots on 2 par 3s. I take the 59. I think that's harder to do. I think the 2 hole-in-ones, you're a good player, but you're also really lucky.
It's definitely harder to do. And you're making me rethink the answer, because that entire round would be so fun versus the 2 really fun 5-minute moments. It's a tough one.
Now, here's the other side of this. When you get a hole-in-one, you got to buy the whole club drinks. So if you get 2 hole-in-ones, you're on the hook for like 2 full rounds of drinks for 2 days.
That's true. That's a good
Where
point.
if you get the 59, they're probably going to buy you drinks.
That weighs heavy here. I might have to change my answer to the 59. I still think 2 hole-in-ones in a round would be crazy, but consistent 18 straight holes, no bad shots. That's a dream.
It's a perfect round of golf. I mean, it's better than a perfect round of golf. So, but then here's the other side. You shoot a 59, you're probably not going to do it again.
Never.
Right? So what do you just go out there to shoot what? Mid-7?
That's kind of where, like, you set that bar so high that you can't get back. Like, even if you get a hole-in-one, you don't expect to get a hole in one on a par 3 again. You level back down. But once, it's like for me, if I were to break 80, anything over 80 would be very disappointing moving forward. So if you're able to shoot 59, you're just going to get so mad even if you shoot like a 65 plus.
Let's move on to our next topic. Have you ever heard about the Seminole Member Pro Event?
I have.
Okay. You know anything about it?
I know that celebrities play in it, high profile people like TB12, Tiger Woods, and that's as much as I know, which I learned from Instagram this week.
So I remember every year they do it. It's usually sometime in March before the Masters. They don't televise it. You basically don't find out who won until probably a day or two afterwards once they post it. I went online today. I couldn't even find about any scores, any live updates at all. So Seminole is a very exclusive club, over $100,000 to be a member. Not as exclusive as your Augusta, but it's probably up there. So there's the prize money in 2020 was said to be $3 million.
Wow. For the two guys to split.
So that's where we don't know. Is it $3 million total? And they break that up into first through 50th. Is it first place? I got to believe it's a pool of $3 million across every position, right? They do one celebrity or one member, and then they do a Pro-Am guest. So let's say a Tiger Woods is playing with, who is it? He's playing with the old former PGA of America CEO Seth Keegan Bradley's Seth Waugh. Keegan Bradley's playing with the NBA professional Shane Battier, who is former player who's retired.
I was going to say former Duke Blue Devil.
So I think it's like 55 pros. It's a bunch of members there. It's a one-day event, 18 holes. They do a net and gross. We think the pool is going to be over $1 million or over $3 million because that was back in 2020, right? And what I've heard is that all the professionals change their schedules to play in this event.
Wow.
So Rory, JT played this past weekend.
They'll drop everything.
They'll drop everything to make sure they play in this event. It's that well renowned and known. And if you looked at the list that we posted online of like who's playing with who, like it's a who's who of like golf. Like I would pay to go to this event and watch it.
Yeah, it's like a Pro-Am.
It's better than a Pro-Am. Because I don't want to go into the amateurs. I just want to see the pros. Yeah. This is like a pro celebrity.
That's what I meant. It's more like a pro celebrity when you have like Aaron Rodgers, all the Justin Timberlake playing. Question though, would the LIV guys be able to drop what they're doing to go play in this?
So this is not a sanctioned event for PGA or for LIV or any other league. This is a like self-run event, kind of like what Augusta is. They can invite whoever they want. So let's look actually through who.
But like if you're Rory and there's a PGA Tour event this upcoming weekend, you don't have to play in it, right?
In the Seminole?
Like if there was a different PGA Tour event, Rory can opt out of playing in it. Like the tour players don't need to play in every event, right?
Oh, they don't. I know they're going to get points if they do.
But the LIV guys don't really have a choice. They have to play in every event, right?
Unless they're hurt or injured or get an exemption. I mean, let's see if there's any guys that we can. Yeah, I don't see any names in here that look like LIV guys. So here's some notable names, right? We got Tiger Woods, we got Jonathan Vegas, we've got Tom Brady, Shane Battier, Keegan Bradley, Matt Fitzpatrick, Ernie Els, Colin Morikawa, Sungjae Im, Ricky Fowler, Bo Hostler, Shane Lowry. Who else? Adam Scott, Rory McIlroy, Chris Kirk, and all PGA guys. Some of these celebrities we know that are Brian Campbell, the guy from Winter 2 weeks ago, Zach Belair, Camilo Villegas, Webb Simpson, Zach Johnson, Ben Griffith, Nick Dunlap, Joel Damon, Cameron Young. So these are all PGA guys. Nick Hardy, Andrew Novak, Luke Donald. This seems like this is a PGA. I don't see any of those guys at all.
Yeah, I guess my point was like if they have an event, they can't really opt out of it because it's a team event.
Yeah, but you also they carry 5 guys on each team. I think the top 4. I don't know that answer, but I know they have multiple players. But LIV's off this week. They're back in Hong Kong this coming Thursday, Friday. So, all right, we'll jump on to the next topic of the day. So we have Any cool stories from the weekend? Anything that kind of notable golf stuff? Did you play golf outside?
I did play golf outside. It was 50 degrees here in Pennsylvania, so I got 9 holes in.
How was it? How was your game?
Game was okay, better than expected. Start out with a par,
Good start. How'd you finish?
double. So
What course you play?
I played at Philadelphia Country Club.
So I as well went out on Friday, played 9 holes. I started tee shot water ball, mulligan water ball, third shot green, 3-putt 8.
Wow.
It was not the best showing. I got to say that I'm still getting the rust off my clubs. I've been playing indoors at least once a week during the winter. It's not the same.
That might
It
be
is not.
messing you up more. Because now you're used to hitting off a turf pad.
I just need to bring turf, a piece of turf with me to hit off of, at least for the first month.
Yeah.
So
I mean, seriously.
I didn't keep my score. Great weather. Friday was awesome. Sun was out. I'm in Philly as well, so similar kind of weather conditions. I'm going to go out this week, either Tuesday or Wednesday, try to get another 9 in. So my first event I'm scheduled to play in DuPont Country Club, March 30th. I have a tournament April 7th. But get this, I have a 3-club tournament. It's a 4-man scramble
Wow.
on April 10th.
You
So
have
you
a
only can
lot of competitive golf ahead.
So I'm thinking about this. What 3 clubs do you bring? Now, here's the thing. All 3 guys in your group can bring whatever clubs they want.
So you
Right,
guys
so-
mix and match, borrow?
No, you can't borrow. But I'm going to bring 3. You're going to bring whatever 3 you're bringing. So what are your best 3 clubs you would bring to a 3-club scramble?
My 4 hybrid gives you some length still, and you can utility-wise use it in some difficult areas. My 56 wedge, pretty crafty with that. And I'll bring my putter.
Why would you putt with your hybrid?
Well, I figured you'd want a real putter in a competitive event, but my 8
Well,
iron.
So it's a scramble. So you all get to putt. So you necessarily so the course is 5,200 yards long. You don't need a driver. You barely need a 3-wood. So I'm going to bring
Okay,
my
well,
2.
that's some good context to know beforehand.
So I didn't tell you that because I wanted to say, so 5,200 yards, going to be 200, 220 off the tee. You get 100 yards in, you get a wedge in. So does that change what clubs you bring?
I think it's still 4 hybrid, an 8 iron, and a 56 wedge.
Good choice. So I'm bringing my 2 hybrid. I can max it out about 225 and keep it low. I can putt with it. I want to bring my either 7 or 8 iron. So that's between a 155 and 165. Then I'm going to bring my 52 degree.
It's pretty similar inventory set we have here. So yeah, I think the 4 hybrid's great. You can really do a lot with it, depending on how soft your hands are and crafty you can be. But yeah, that middle range iron makes sense, and around the green you got to have a good wedge.
All right, what if you're playing a full course, 6,800 yards, same thing, 3 clubs, what do you bring?
Probably the 3-wood instead of the hybrid. Can still do some crafty things and use it as a putter. I'll up to a 6 iron over the 8, and then I'll stick with a wedge.
Yeah, agreed. I would take the 3-wood, crank it down to about 10 degrees. I think it's like 11 degree now or 12 degrees. I take a 7 iron and I take a 52 degree wedge. Okay. So last week, I don't know if you've heard this, Topgolf, right? They were having some issues with their business model. Their sales are declining. So last quarter, it came out last week. Same store revenues were down 8%. We know a bunch of locations are up for sale, like the Philly location in King of Prussia. They're asking $56 million. There's a location in Baltimore and Kansas City, in Florida. They're going to sell them. They had a big round of corporate layoffs. Probably 30 people I'm connected with I saw kind of laid off. So the question is, when's the last time you went to Topgolf, and why would you go to Topgolf now?
The last time I went to Topgolf was when I was in Las Vegas. I was at a golf gaming club event with my co-founder Andrew, and the event's after party, we played Jack Nicklaus's course that day, and then there was an after party at Topgolf. It was fun, but prior to that, it had been years since I had been to Topgolf. Pre-COVID type of years.
Why would you go back?
I would if a group of friends was going on a Saturday and I had nothing else to do and wanted to hang out with my friends. There's no reason for me to go solo, ask my wife to go. I just don't find that activity that rewarding to go spend my time there. I'd rather go to a range.
Is Topgolf a sustainable model, in your opinion?
My opinion's a little skewed based off all of these articles about them that they're failing, so no.
I wouldn't say they're failing, but they have an opening. There's stores that open that are brand new, do great, right? It's the ones that are 2, 3, 4 years old where they're seeing declining revenues.
I think Topgolf is one of those classic businesses that opened up, had some great success early on, and scaled way too fast. Opened up way too many locations, opened up way too big of locations, probably hired way more people than needed, and they're now kind of seeing the repercussions of growing too quickly.
So there are 70 locations across the U.S. currently, whether they're owned by corporate or they've sold them off. I've been to Topgolf 3 times, 2 times for an event, one in Orlando, one in King of Prussia, and I went to one for a 10-year-old's birthday party. They put us on the, I think, 2nd floor or 3rd floor, which I thought was a horrible idea because the first thing that kids want to do is what? Hey, how close can you get to the edge and hopefully not fall off, even though there is a safety net there. My wife said, hey, do you want to go to Topgolf next week? Not really, no. I want to hit my clubs with real golf balls off real grass on a real course or a real driving range or in a simulator. So we went to Golf Galaxy. We played 18 holes in a span of an hour and 20 minutes. Had a great time. We brought our little Yetis, a couple drinks in there.
That sounds way more fun. That's also a problem with Topgolf is that they're not dishing out top tier equipment and balls for you to hit.
So it is. Love the idea of getting more people into the game. Right, that's what we want. COVID was perfect for that. The only thing you can do is play golf, right, or any outdoor sports. So more people play the game. But once you get good, why are you going back? You're not going to bring your own clubs. You're not going to crack. Like, Frank, no one that played, it's equivalent of hitting a top flight golf ball, which I call a rock flight because it feels like a rock, with a 25-year-old cavity back golf club that doesn't feel like anything because the shaft bends in half. It's not a good experience. But for your guy or girl who's not a golfer, just wants to get into it and have fun, it's a great way to do it. Now, the one thing I think Topgolf did well is they took the Topgolf range idea and took it to your traditional ranges, right? Where you can now create that gamification of, I can see where my ball goes, I can track it, I can play a game, I can play a course, I can hit targets. And then they did it indoors as well. So I wish they had made these things single levels, maybe double level at most. You don't need that many bays, right? Demand supply. Limit the supply of bays, create more demand, get people to wait, charge more money. So I hate to see people getting laid off. It's one of the kind of worst things you can do as a business owner. I hate to do it. I've had to do it, and it breaks my heart because these are people that you like and you respect, but it happens in every industry. I hope they can figure out a model that makes sense. I think they're going to try to sell them all off and keep the most profitable ones, and that's it.
Here's a question. Who is buying a Topgolf for sale? How is it repurposed? What are the options here?
So I think it's this. I think the King of Prussia one is completely overpriced. It costs about $36 million to build. They're asking $56 for it. You don't own the land. You lease the land. It's a 19-year lease left on it. So it's looking for somebody that has the money that wants to throw it at something that's going to cash flow 5 to 8% a year. So it's your really, really high net individuals, or it's somebody that, it's not a growth industry. It's not a growth opportunity. What are you going to repurpose it to?
That's my question. What can it even be? It's just a bunch of bays.
It's a bunch of bays with turf on the grass. Like, it's probably super expensive in terms of maintenance and kind of your cost. So I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't think no one's gonna buy that one. But again, I know like the one in Kansas City was like $13 million. They're asking.
That's not that bad. But again, I haven't been to where was it? Kansas City?
So that was the Kansas City one. Again, all of them are very similar. I mean, I think it's probably a little bit smaller, but I think the business will see declining revenues year over year with existing locations until they figure out what to do with them. They've talked about spin them off. to its own business. I don't know. It's a huge initial investment for something that has very limited opportunities in terms of other businesses that can go in there and take over that space.
Right. The structure of a Topgolf does not allow for seamless repurposing.
You're not going to turn it into a modified duck hunt trap shooting location.
No. And even then, not worth the investment.
All right, let's finish up. TGL signings, one-day signings. Did you hear who they signed for one-day events?
One-day events, Tony Finau.
Tony Finau last week. Did you see his dancing tee shot ball?
I saw a little bit of it on Instagram, yeah. It was fun. It was good.
Dude, he's the personality we've been talking about. That's the type of guy we need there, right? He's having fun with it. The crowd was cheering. Like, I got to say, I didn't see it in real time. I saw it after the fact. It's not a one-day signing. He needs to be on a team.
Yeah. No.
You need that.
You go.
You need to take. He needs to be on a team. He needs to be a captain. He's got to get 3 other guys that are just like fun, having a blast, right? So this is what I think he should do. Tony Finau's team needs to be Bryson DeChambeau, Joel Damon, and Jason Day.
Whoa. Now that is
right?
a squad.
I think they're going to kick ass as a team. They're extra fun personalities.
Yeah.
Why?
No.
They need to sign Bryson to a one-day contract. Make it happen. Like,
I agree. He's the most entertaining person in golf right now. He absolutely needs to be in some TGL action if they want to see some more eyeballs.
So hopefully they're going to do some more of these one-day signings. I'm excited to see who they bring on. But Bryson's my guy. You got to bring him. All right, last thing before we go to an Airbnb.
I stayed at an Airbnb in Mexico for a wedding in November.
If you're going on a golf trip, right? We're going on a golf trip with 10 other dudes. Would you want to go to a golf-centric Airbnb that had a full swing indoor simulator, an outdoor putting course? The whole theme was golf. And it was on one of the Pinehurst courses. Would you do that?
Sure, why not? But how much more is it than a standard Airbnb?
So 6-bedroom, it can sleep 12 people. It's anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 a night. So you're talking $100, $150 a night if you bring all 12. Would you do it?
Not so bad. Yeah, I think absolutely. It sounds like it would be a great time. It just seems like it's probably an insane premium versus just staying at an Airbnb a mile away from Pinehurst that probably already has some golf-related things built into it because it's down at Pinehurst.
So if you go on a golf trip and you're playing golf every day, do you want to come home and play more golf? Do you want to do a putting green? You want to have a simulator? Or are you kind of golfed out?
I don't think I need the simulator, but I think putting would be fun.
Okay. So the reason I bring this up, there's a guy I met a couple months ago. He launched something called Birdie Houses. It's basically Airbnb for golf-centric houses. We'll put a link up on the website for the house. They just launched their first location in Pinehurst, right? Really nice facility. He bought it, redid it, put the putting green in, put the simulator in. They're going to launch 2 more, one in Myrtle Beach, one in Scottsdale. But his whole thing is, you want to go on a golf trip with your boys, with your friends, with your family, go to a place where you can enjoy golf 24/7 with the simulator, with the putting green, with all the paraphernalia. They partner with Callaway, with Foresight. So we'll put a link in. It's something new. It's basically Airbnb for golf.
It sounds great. I love the idea. There are some golf nuts who will definitely want to stay at Birdie Houses, so I can definitely see this one doing well.
So shout out to Tom. He's a founder of Birdie Houses. Again, just launched. They opened up bookings last week. All right. On that note, thanks for listening, boys and girls. It's been fun. Enjoy the golf.
Peace.
Swing it like a boomerang, a tank come around, wanna hit the top. Ooh, la, 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 la.